Hi guys, Zarvix here with another video for Warhammer Online Return of Reckoning, the Age of Reckoning private server. This is a very sought after video from a lot of people on the dungeons in this game. While Warhammer is primarily a PvP game and a lot of people play it for that reason, for doing scenarios, battlegrounds, open RVR, keep sieges, fortress sieges, city sieges, a lot of people also play it for the PvE and for the dungeons, and there's quite a few of them actually, and a lot of people actually enjoy the kind of content they provide. And not to mention that some of the best gear, potions, accessories, weapons come from doing PvE dungeons. So we'll go over the list of them. We'll explain usually how to get there, what gear drops from there, and difficulty level, and hopefully it'll give you a good overview of each dungeon. Maybe in the future we'll do another video on each specific dungeon, bosses and items and stuff like that, but this will be a good general overview of dungeons for the new player. So how many dungeons are there in Warhammer? There are 2 lobby dungeons, level 16 to like 30-ish. Those are the Sicilium and the sewers in Altdorf. So in Altdorf, the entrances are all over. You got to go in each entrance to get into the sewers. It gives you the Keeper set, which is a really good starter set that'll hold you off in PvE for a long time. You get the quest over here in Altdorf, and you need about a 6-man group, but pretty easy to complete. The Inevitable City has a similar quest for a similar Keeper set. You get the quest in this general area, and the Sicilium is over here. So that's a level 16 dungeon. After that, the first 40 dungeon that you're going to do is Mount Gumbad. Typically, people want to bring, level 40s to this, but you can make your way in there maybe in the mid to high 30s as well. The entrance to it is in Badlands. It's right here at the top left corner of your map to the northwest. If you are in a guild, your guild is over a certain level, you'll have scrolls you can buy from the guild vendor that'll teleport you to the entrance, which is very handy, so you don't have to run all your way out here. It can be a kind of a pain in the butt. So if you're in a guild, another benefit is being able to port right to the dungeon. So this is the first level 40 dungeon. It gives you the Red Eye set, which is actually a pretty nice set. The way that gearing and items work in Warhammer is that in order to wear like the end dungeon gear, let's say Bastion Stair Bloodlord, you have to have gotten the full, Gumbad set, the full Red Eye set, and then you have to have gotten the full Sentinel set. You can do the dungeons in any order that you want. You can start with the final one, but you won't be able to use the gear until you have all the previous gear and have it equipped it. So it's kind of like a warding system, a lockout system to get you in there. Dungeons also do have a lockout timer on it. You can't farm them back to back. After you kill the bosses, you'll have between like a 2 to 3 day lockout before you can kill it again. Don't fear though, there are quests you can pick up in each dungeon where if you kill the bosses between 3 to 5 times, you'll guarantee that you'll get the loot from it. So it's not like you have to run Gumbad for weeks or months. After doing it 3 times, you'll be done. I'm just trying to find some of my Keeper gear here so you can see what it looks like. This is Sentinel for the middle one. You got Rune. I don't know where it is in my, here we go. So Red Eye set for the Bright Wizard, pretty good. The stats are fine. It's kind of on tier with Annihilator and Mercenary, but again, a good first starter set. And there are some good jewelry pieces as well and weapons that'll come from Gumbad. So that's the first dungeon. After you do that, and after you have your Red Eye set, you can move on to the city dungeons. So these are where it kind of separates for each side. Order has the Sigmar Crypt, and it has Warblade tunnels. Sigmar Crypt is here in Sigmar Temple. You go to the back of it, and you'll go down to do this dungeon. And then you have the Skaven tunnels, which will be scattered around. The Warblade tunnels, which will be scattered around the city in different locations to get in there. It gives you the Sentinel set, which is a mid-tier set, kind of on par with Conqueror, Vanquisher, kind of in that general area. Bonuses are actually pretty good for a lot of classes that get it, as you can see here. Intelligence, Wounds, Initiative, pretty good. I see a lot of people who are still using Sentinel gear. Even though Sovereign is out now and one of the best sets, Sentinel still has its place. And also some pretty amazing weapons with procs you can get there. One of the best jewelry pieces in the game that has a socket. You could slot with 4% crit talismans, or you can slot with extra magic power, melee power, or healing power. Some amazing gear comes from the city dungeons. On Destro's side, though, instead of doing the Warblade tunnels and the Sigmar Crypt, you're going to have Bloodbower Burrow down here, and you're going to have Bloodroot Enclave down here. So those are going to be the 2 dungeons. Still drops the same gear, weapons with procs on them, accessories, and armor, Sentinel set. Finally, once you complete that, you're going to move to the current last dungeon in the game, which is Bastion Stair. Bastion Stair, the entrance to this one is in Chaos Wastes, so it's off here to the side, Bastion Stair. There'll be different entrances for both Order and Destro, so you're not fighting it out here. Again, you can get a scroll in the Guild Tavern to teleport here a little bit easier, so I recommend that. Out of Bastion Stair comes some pretty amazing gear. Let's see if we can just show you guys some of the gear. Like, Bloodlord is great. Currently, the best weapon in the game comes from doing that dungeon. Well, this is Warblade Tunnels, but let's see if we can find it right here. Some of the best gear in the game comes from doing... Damn, when you want to show it off, guys, sometimes the Tome of Knowledge does not agree with you. It's right here, number 2 for some reason. So some of the best weapons in the game come from it, like Bloodlord Greatstaff. You can see like 5% more damage to target. Pretty much every DPS who's worth their salt wants to get this weapon because not only are the stats amazing on it, the bonuses are like the 5% more damage is insanely good too. There's rumor that it's going to be nerfed shortly, and we have new weapons coming out with royal weapons and ranked season 1 weapons, so it might get a decrease, but right now, as it currently stands, this is the best weapon in the game for pretty much every single class. Super good. Plus other things you can get there, the Bloodlord Cloak, there's just amazing loot to get from these dungeons. And you can see even from doing Sentinel, like these weapons with the procs on them are amazing. Like, deals 20% more damage to your target, increased movement speed. Like, it's a lot of procs and a lot of good stats on the weapons from Sentinel as well. So that's currently the dungeons we have right now. 2 lobby dungeons, Sewers, Achilleum, the starter dungeon, Mount Gumbad, get Red Eye from there, city dungeons, Balrog Burrow, Bloodlord Enclave, Sigmar Crypt, Warblade Tunnels, that's for Sentinel, jewelry pieces, and weapons. And finally, you have Bastion Stair that gives you Bloodlord and gives you some amazing weapons as well, the best weapons in the game. There's still some dungeons that have yet to be put out. There's rumor that we're going to be getting Lost Vale soon. That was a dungeon that was in Avalorn. It's going to be the next tier up above what we have right now. The entrance was right here. It actually shows you right there. You go on the boat to get into the Lost Vale. Super cool dungeon. After that, we still have Land of the Dead with Tomb of the Vorchalord, which was the final dungeon on live. I guess we'll have to wait for that until we get Land of the Dead coming out. And then there was the mini dungeon Hunter's Vale. So there are quite a few more dungeons and experiences out there for the PvE player. They're all 6-man group dungeons. They can be tricky. I mean, you got to know the mechanics sometimes, but a lot of it comes down to just, knowing what to do, knowing how to play your class, and just being geared. I mean, a lot of dungeon groups will want to bring experienced players because just like anything else, the more experienced your player is, the more geared, the easier your run will be. But with so many new players coming into the game, you see it in chat all the time, people looking for dungeon groups. So now's a great time to get on it because, until when Lost Vale comes out, I mean, that's going to be some amazing gear, and you want to be able to equip that right away if you can get it. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful and gave you some insight into the PvE dungeons that Warhammer has, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.